One more. What would make any of us trust any of these people at this point in time with your lives or the lives of your children?
I just want to make a brief comment to get back to the discussion about the health disparities
Mm-hmm.
in the African American community, because it really is very important. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring it up, because I couldn't help sitting there reflecting about sometimes when you're in the middle of a crisis, like we are now with the coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
it really does have ultimately shine a very bright light on some of the real weaknesses and foibles in our society.
Also, yes, we know that some of these people have diabetes and heart disease and all of these other things that are going on in the community. But amongst that, us being such a small portion of the population, what about all of the young Caucasian or other race children that vape and smoke and work in places where they can get lung problems? Because again, if it's affecting the breathing, then I'm pretty sure it would hit, or those are the people that would be under stress quicker, having lung or asthma or breathing problems. A lot of Caucasian children have asthma, things like this. Um, so my question is, that still wouldn't make any sense. Because if it's a problem that's affecting the lungs and people with lungs that are not healthy already, okay, yeah, there are smokers and all of those things that are in that small, so-called small number that they have with, representing the American Indian or the origine. But there's a large group of other people that do other things that would be affecting their lungs right now. And if you have problems with your lungs, I would think it would affect you quicker, even though the underlying issues are a severity. I would imagine that there's a large amount of people that are not so-called black that have lung problems, and I would think it would hit them harder and faster than it would someone with heart disease or diabetes, even though their immune system is low. Okay.
And as some of you know, the greater proportion of my professional career has been defined by HIV/AIDS. And if you go back then,
Okay, and this HIV/AIDS thing is questionable. Again, something they claim came from animals, and then it entered into people, and then all of a sudden, now, oh wait, it's uh, gay people. Oh wait, no, okay, it's black people. They're being more affected by AIDS, which I doubt is even a real thing in my eyes. Okay, you see how it slowed down, very much so, and there's still no cure for it. From what I can see, that number of AIDS, or we don't talk about it that much anymore. Like it's like it just disappeared, right? So my thing is, him saying that doesn't make me feel any more comfortable. If anything, it makes me feel nervous. If he was pulled out of or into this because he had something to do with that, because we also know that there was an agenda behind HIV, AIDS, and in lots of places where I think Mike Pence might have even been a governor or something in a place where they were having an outbreak in HIV, AIDS because of dirty needles, and he held back for a long time and did not, even when it was brought to his attention, to help these people and help get clean needles on the street or do what he could to help the people. And he waited until the last straw and then went around and hit. But there were so many people that were already affected by this in his area, that, that's enough of them. You see what I'm saying? So what are these diseases really? Okay, they'll give you the medical whatever, and you're going to take it because they are supposed to be specialists. The more convincing they are, the more they're going to be put up in the mainstream and or on mainstream media to tell you about these things, and it's usually going to be just a basic uh, repetition or something repeated by officials that makes you think you understand what they're saying. But if you're not in the medical field, you really don't. And even when you're in the medical field, you really don't. Because a lot of these people are unaware of what's in vaccines, how they are affecting. They act as if they are, some of them. when they're trying to get you in a doctor's office to give these to your children. They're just there to, they're at the lower level of this. They're just following orders, you see? And when the shit hit the fan, that's exactly what they're going to be able to say, is they're following orders, right? So this is why when I go with my grandbaby to get a doctor's appointment, I make sure to bring some information to give to the doctor and let him know what I feel is a concern of mine, why she's not getting them. So him stating that makes me feel no more comfortable, because I know that these people are in cahoots. And the fact that he's here speaking now about this, like we're supposed to feel comfortable, because a lot of people haven't looked into that AIDS epidemic or pandemic, or they believe what these people say without doing their own research, then they're going to feel at ease.
During that period of time when there was extraordinary stigma, particularly against the gay community. And it was only when the world realized how the gay community responded to this outbreak with incredible courage and dignity and strength and activism that I think that really changed some of the stigma against the gay community, very much so. I see a similarity here because health disparities have always existed for the African American community.
I wonder
But
why.
here again, with the crisis, how it's shining a bright light on how unacceptable that is. Because yet again, when you have a situation like the coronavirus, they are suffering disproportionately. As Dr. Berg said correctly, it's not that they're getting infected more often, is that when they do get infected, their underlying medical conditions, the diabetes, the hypertension, the obesity, the asthma, those are the kind of things that wind them up in the ICU.
Obesity and asthma is widespread amongst many Americans. So really, the things that I'm talking about when it comes to our people would be the heart disease and the diabetes. But all these lung issues and all these other issues that could be going on, don't even try to even just minimize that and place that in this area, because there's a wider range of people that suffer from those things.
And ultimately give them a higher death rate. So when all this is over, and as we've said, it will end. We will get over coronavirus, but there will still be health disparities, which we really do need to address in the African American community.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this whole syphilis thing. Again, I'm not well versed in this. I haven't really looked over it. I'm just basically going freestyle here and speaking.
I will suggest two things to the world.
Enough. So I'm just basically peering in really quick to see what we see here. So this whole thing right here with this Tuskegee syphilis study. Let's see. Known officially as the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male. The study began at a time when there was no treatment for the disease. Don't they all? The Tuskegee Experiment began in 1932 at a time when there was no known treatment for it. After being recruited or picked up or detained, possibly, I don't know, by the promise of free medical care. Or could it have been freedom or some other kind of thing here? But could be free medical care. But if they have never, okay, let's just keep on reading. 600 men originally were enrolled in the project. The participants were primarily sharecroppers. It's important to know that, because another thing that they don't tell you in their story is that most of the people that were being lynched at certain points of time in history were landowners and business owners. They weren't just picking up Negroes off of the street and killing them. They wanted your land, okay? And if you didn't want to give it, they would kill you and take it. Sharecroppers, another way that was would keep the commoners, servants, and peasants, which are the children of God or the living creatures that they created upon the earth, which is you, to act as if you were sharing so that they could learn everything they needed to know from you. In all actuality, throughout time, they would have meetings where the Negro party of the group could not attend. And this is what I'm saying when it says, let your wife be silent in church, to say that people are husbandmen, okay, to Jesus, God, or that entity. The thing you don't understand is the husbandman, okay, or that aspect was talking about the relationship between the lords or the masters or the gods and their children, minorities, minors, okay, and their property, prisoners of war, slaves, whatever. This is what we're talking about. So legally, the black portion of the sharecropping group could not attend certain meetings. So they had to ask the person about it when he got home, and he can tell them whatever they wanted to tell him. During this time, the land is becoming more and more out of the hand of the original owner into its so-called white counterpart in some of these instances. So a lot of these terms that we throw around, they're a little bit deeper than you really think that they are. Okay, so it's funny that they want to do this study on sharecroppers. Okay, and many have never before visited a doctor. So why would they be worried about it? I'm pretty sure they had a grandma or somebody that knew how to, and they were pretty healthy and active and things like this. They had somebody in their family or in their tribe or to help them or take care of them, or else they wouldn't be in good shape to be working, right? So maybe they didn't need to see a doctor. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't trust doctors like we do and just take our children and let them stick all this shit in their bodies, not knowing what's in anything. So maybe they didn't want to see a doctor. So to say that these people came in because they were promised some kind of free medical care, for what? They wasn't even sick. Doctors of the U.S. Incorporated Public Health System, which was running the study, informed the participants, 399 men with latent syphilis, okay, was running the study, informed the participants, 399 men with latent syphilis, and a control group of 201 others who were free of disease. Now, it's funny about that whole 201 thing that's going around. I believe it's 201, that these people did some kind of testing or some kind of like a acting kind of thing to see a simulation, okay, to see what would occur if some of these things were happening, which are some of these things that they were doing prior to this disease, in a couple of weeks, months prior to this disease even breaking out. Okay, I think it is 201. You can look it up, some kind of thing that was going on. Okay, so that's a very interesting number. Okay, others who were free of disease, okay, they were being treated for bad blood. Now, what does that mean? Were there some type of sterilization programs going on? Because again, we don't understand, again, with this Bible, when it's talking about wash yourself coming through the water, that means to dilute or amalgamate in order to dilute your bloodline. So when they say that you have to do this in order to enter heaven, that was letting you know, and heaven is just the governing forces. That'll let you know why we never still have had an Aboriginal American. We've had an African in the office, but not one Negro from America has been in there. You see what I'm saying? So again, his parents washed their, well, he was from Africa anyway, but what I'm saying is, a lot of this stuff that we're reading in this Bible had to do with them telling you, you got to bow down. You have to sacrifice yourself. You have to give this. You see what I'm saying? In order to, like how they were using bucks and things in order to breed. A lot of slavery was about breeding and things in order to create these groups. And then once they got the whole thing from light, he saw darkness and wanted to make it light. And once he got light, he separated the light from the dark. You're talking about amalgamation, and you're talking about the laws that they put in place that would be laws to keep people from marrying separate races at some point in time. Once they had enough people to, like it says in Genesis, the seed within the seed to bring forth the fruit like them, then they were separated and they didn't need it anymore because they could go on their own. Hence, Native Americans and their reservations in order to reserve or preserve. Okay. And then they put you in the hood with each other, which is another form of a reservation. But when you talk about those, when we're talking about those reservations, it was to reserve the race, and now they can give a damn about those people. When it came to you, it was just destruction from the beginning. Now some of those native peoples are in the same dire places that we are. But still, they have rule or reign over themselves. So I guess they could change that if they wanted to. I don't know how easy it will be or what stipulations are set up. But again, they don't have the real power. So maybe this is why they're still stagnant, because the power is still not really within them. See, it's the original owners, okay, that are being dwindled down to nothing, a remnant, okay? A term commonly used in the area at the time to refer to a variety of ailments. Okay. So this is a term that was used commonly in the area at the time to refer to a variety of ailments. Okay. The men were monitored. Okay. Given placebos, which I thought was some kind of fake medicine to make you think that you're taking a medicine. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and look at syphilis here in etymology. And then we're going to look at ailments because I just really want to know something. Okay, syphilis, infectious venereal disease, originally from the title of a poem, Syphilis, Sieve, something, or the French disease, published 1530 by somebody, a doctor, okay, from 1483 to 1553, which tells the tale of the shepherd Syphilis, okay, a shepherd, okay, shepherd usually has sheep, okay, supposed to the first sufferer from the disease. Francastro Toro first used the word as a generic term for the disease in his 1546 treatise De Contagion. Why he chose this name is unknown. It may be intended as Latinized Greek for pig lover. Though there was also Syphilus or Lus, a son of Niobe. I don't know. Let's see, some kind of pox. I'm just looking at related terms. Smallpox. Sarsaparilla is a tropical American plant, 1570, from Spanish Zasper, whatever. From this, bramble, thorny plant, vine, which is of unknown origin. Hence also a medical preparation of sarsaparilla in 1570 prior to colonization, or in the fifth day. The dried roots were held to be effective in treatment of syphilis. Okay. So now we see what the whole syphilis thing was about. And then I'm going to go ahead and look up something else real quick. Let's see. Here's something right here out of this. I don't want to go there yet because I don't want to lose the page. But I noticed that this is talking about that treaty. I was looking at something about that treaty so I can see what it was talking about. And then it just says, this is in French or something. Okay, historical anecdotes, I don't know, of the Carter House by a Carthuism, 1808, practice of custom in the entry, examination, and delivery of goods and merchandise. Smith James Carmichael, I'm guessing this is a doctor, physical extraordinary to his majesty, okay, whoever that is. a tenement. I was thinking tenement. Okay. 1764, an account of effects of swinging employed as a remedy in pulmonary consumption of hectic fever. The works of late Dr. Such and Such, a description of the jail distemper as it appeared among the Spanish prisoners at Winchester in the year of 1780, with an account of means employed for curing that fever and for destroying the contagion which gave rise to it. Something about London, maybe 1795. An account of experiments made on board the Union Hospital ship. This is what I'm saying, what's going on these ships. Nothing new under these suns. They use the same protocol all the time under the guise or using different terms to deceive. To determine the effects on the nitrous acid in destroying contagion and the safety with which it may be employed. The effective of nitrous vapor. Again, here we go talking about these vapors from Genesis, and preventing and destroying contagion, ascertained from the variety of trials made chiefly by surgeons of His Majesty, Navy in prisons, hospitals, and aboard ships. With an wait, let me make this a little bit bigger. Introduction respecting the nature of contagion which gives rise to the jail and hospital fever. And the various methods formerly employed to prevent or destroy this. Let's see, letters to this person, a pamphlet, an account of the discovery of power of mineral acid vapors to destroy contagion. I'm guessing these is probably some kind of writings or some books or something that people have used, okay, with an examination of the claim of this person to the discovery of the power of mineral acid gases or contagion. A treatise on hydrosyphilis or dropsy of the brain. A letter of Young was related his own case in which an enlarged spleen was cured by application of an actual cautery. So anyhow, I just wanted to bring up the fact that they were using ships and stuff like that in order to do testing on people. And again, usually when we see a large group of people go into some kind of ship, we don't, like after the floods and stuff that have happened, we haven't heard from those people ever again. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I think that's basically, wait a minute, let me go back and look at a couple of terms that I had typed in earlier. Okay, this is about something else that I was doing. So, anyhow, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about these new portions of videos that I'm putting out, to see if you guys like them or not. Again, I'm just thinking out loud like I always do with you guys. And I just want to basically know what you think. I just want to bring awareness to present and historical things that will lead us to probably making the right choices in the future for ourselves, our people, and our children. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to join us in the Facebook group, American Aborigines Unchained, where me and others that think put lots of information. So if you think you have something to add or there's something that you're interested in knowing, that would be a good place to start.